My wife Julie and I, we have 4 kids of our own, and it's hard to find people that you can trust and trust that are going to have your best interests for your daughter and that are going to push and challenge them, hopefully in a safe environment. But that's what we're looking to do here. And we took over back in 2020. For those of you that don't know, we took over this whole facility, took over the Volleyball Academy, and we felt like there was something missing in club sports. A lot of times what you'd see organizations that maybe had a lot of teams, but they would have tryouts and each team kind of got pushed off on their own. And we really wanted to come in and build a full organization from top to bottom, where everything flowed and there was progression from age to age. There was connectivity within the community. And then there was a communication service that we really wanted to provide you as parents. Okay, so we're just going to dive into some of this. We're going to give a general overview. What we've also been working on, and you now have access to, if you go on our site, and assuming you're a member, right, tied to your daughter in Sports Engine, you should have access to a parent portal on our site. It's going to have all the information we cover. There's also going to be some additional information, and we're going to continue to build upon that so we can get you guys as much information as possible. I know this is a lot sometimes trying to navigate what's what, especially those of you that are new to this whole thing. So that's our goal. That's kind of your resource within that. Okay? But really, the goal for us is we want to be here supporting your daughter's development. That is the main goal with everything that we do. And because we do have 29 teams, we get a vast range of goals. Some girls want to be here and just want to be part of the sport. Other girls want to get to college. And we want to really have opportunities that are there for all girls of all goals. Okay? The challenge in doing that is trying to figure out who wants what. Okay? So the communication is really important for us. And understanding you guys, we really try and push our coaches to get to know you guys as good as they can. Our support staff that we have, my wife Julie in the back, she'll be speaking here later. She is the boss. Everything that happens that is great, it is because of her. Everything that is a problem is because of me. Okay, so just note that. She's good, and I have all the problems that I'm trying to sort out. Okay, but she's the academy director. She really just mans the whole volleyball operation. She works with our coaches, making sure that our systems are being implemented and our coaches are getting what they need to help your daughters. I kind of handle the business development stuff, the renovations that are occurring, all of getting this place up to date and to standard is what I've been working on to make this more comfortable and really open this place up. And if you guys haven't seen our plans, just so you guys know, what we are doing is we are pushing out this way to the south side, okay? And your entry point will be the parking lot. We'll have a lobby that pushes out from the parking lot. You'll be able to walk up some stairs. You'll be able to walk the whole span of this south side will be a walkway. This whole top will get rebuilt, and the whole top part will be your parent viewing area. So it'll be like a T. It'll open up things. If you guys were here for some of the tournaments, you know it can get crammed, and that's what we're trying to avoid. On the bottom section, we'll have a weight room. We're going to be doing a lot more. Julie and I also own a sport and fitness and adult fitness facility out in Peoria. And we know how important it is, that side of things, if you really want to get to the next level. And so we want to be able to have that service here. Up top, we'll have bathrooms, so you guys don't have to walk all the way down and through and everything. We'll have a coach's lounge, player's lounge, and then some offices. So by the time this is done, it should look quite a bit different. It should open things up and just be a better experience for you. Okay? Do we have any 18s parents? I'll apologize to them now. We also have Dennis, which I'm sure most of you know, is our operations director. He's kind of your immediate need. Contact him. He's great with that. He handles all of the issues that you may have. Getting to him. We have a recruiting director, Jen. Jen is, she's been with Sky. Her and Dennis have been with Sky before Julie and I took over. So they have been here through thick and thin and provide a lot of experience within that. So if your daughter does want to play in college, Jen will be an important resource. We have Emily Friesen. She is our information director, and she's head of our 14 and under age group. She has oversight of that. She handles our CVP clinics and all the training there. We also have Ashley Leparulo, who is our developmental director, and she's in charge of really that 12 and under and the whole developmental phase within our program. And then we have 3 mentor coaches. I don't know, Bo Lawler's here. Bo's in the back. He's our 17 gold coach, and we picked him up this year. He's got a wealth of experience. He's been at the University of Utah, Nebraska, Ole Miss, has been in the club scene, and is a huge asset. And Chris Neighbor, if you don't know her, she's been a head coach at GCU, and she's now the club coach over there as well. And then Chris Coleman, who's over at Deer Valley, and is just amazing. Those 3 mentor coaches, what their purpose is to connect with our coaches and make sure they're getting the support they need. So my point in this is that when you look at, we get a lot of people like, why is it so expensive at Sky? Because we're trying to provide a great service for you guys. And that requires a lot. Because the question I always ask everybody is, what does it take? What is the requirement to coach club volleyball? You got to have a pulse, and you got to pass Safe Sport and have a region membership. That's it. So for us, we're always looking for coaches. We want to really bring in quality people that care. The knowledge is super important, and we want to provide support around those coaches to hopefully help them improve, get better, and navigate any of the issues. All right, so we've really tried to build this big support staff around our coaches, because at the end of the day, if we're going to preach player development, and that's what we prioritize, then we've got to prioritize coaching development. Okay, so we put a lot of resources into the coaching development side of things, and really it starts with our support staff. When we took over, one of the things that we really wanted to attack, aside from just enhancing the culture, making the culture and the community stronger, we wanted to enhance the performance as well, and just the service you guys are providing. So when we talk about our winning culture, we're looking at our core values. We have our system philosophy that I'll get into. We have some of our training pillars, our practice framework, and then we're going to dive into just championship behaviors and just kind of go through that and show you guys what our system is and the standard that we're holding our coaches to. So as we get in our core values, we have integrity, grit, excellence, responsibility, and courage. What I've noticed since we've taken over is that the vast majorities of families are amazing. So credit to you guys, because when everybody finds out we own a volleyball academy, they're like, oh my gosh, you got to deal with the parents. And I said, honestly, like, we have amazing parents. And I like to think we have some of the best. When I go out and watch at these tournaments, it's awesome. You know, the support that you give, the way you conduct yourselves, that's what we're looking for, and that's the kind of culture that we want. and having that integrity is super huge. The one area that we are really honing in on is helping these young girls build grit. That's hard to do in this day and age. When you have social media, you have all this stuff going on. And what we do notice, and this is my opinion on it, when you watch these young girls play, they hold back. They don't give that full aggression all the time. And I think what happens is there's a level of fear to give everything you have and come up short, or make a mistake. Because this day and age, everything's being videoed. And there's social media and all of that. So I'm saying that because I want you guys to understand that we know as adults, like, this world is tough. And grit is super important to overcome those fears and fight through adversity. And so that's a lot of what we're trying to really breathe into these young girls and women when they come here. And we're trying to be excellent. We're trying to do things better than anybody else is doing them. Whether that's our facility, whether that's the coaching, whether that's the uniforms, social media, information, communication. We want to be the best. And we won't be satisfied until we are the best. And then we probably still won't be satisfied because we'll want to be getting better. But that's something where we want to lead by example in all of this so that the girls can see what that's like. Because as parents, you realize they don't listen to what you say, they watch what you do, right? So that's what we preach into our coaches as well. And then having courage, the responsibility, obviously, having a responsibility to your commitments is a really big deal. That's something that we really want to try and breathe into these girls. And having courage, I jump to that because grit and courage are two ones that we really want to try and hit on. It's tough. It's tough to step out in this sport and fail. And you've got to have courage to step on the sport, fail, fall flat on your face, not get the outcomes you want, and come back and fight. So those things are really, really important, and we want to communicate that to you guys. So now as we dive deeper into our system on the volleyball side, peak performance for any athlete is in the zone. So the question we ask is, how do you get in the zone? What is in the zone? Is it just something that happens, or is it something that's trained? For us, it's something that's trained. You've got to be able to have a specific focus, simplified focus. And in our practices, we want to provide that cue, the cues and the focus and the information to simplify things as much as we can for these girls. And then we get high volume repetitions. We need a lot of reps. Okay, you got to practice that. And we also want to put them in pressure-filled situations so that they're battle tested. When they do get in those matches, maybe those gold matches or championship matches, whatever, they've done it before. Okay, it's not new. And this is all very strategic in terms of how we want to lay this out. And there's a lot to it. But to break it out simply, it's simple concepts. It's just hard to do. Okay, but that's our goal for your daughters. We want to teach her how to get in the zone, and we want to create the environment that she can do it consistently. So in our practice structure, the thing that we've laid out for our coaches, if you want to master any skills, you want to be really good at volleyball, there are 4 pillars: technique, vision, timing, and strategy. These are the components that make up your ability. Okay? The challenging part for coaches, and maybe you can relate to this just watching as parents, is that the sport isn't easy. Sometimes it looks easier than it really is. And if you have ever gotten on your daughter about like, hey, you got to do this, and they're like, roll your eyes, that's an indication it's not that easy. And so for us, your focus determines your success. And the thing we break out in sport, you either have an internal focus, that's your body control and awareness, okay? Or there's an external focus, what's happening and what's occurring. And this is really important to understand, especially for you girls. When you are focused on your body, and there's a ball in play, and there's competition, and all that's going on, right? Like I'm focused on my feet and my approach, or I'm focused on my arm swing. When that ball's in play, that is like texting and driving. Okay? You're going to paralyze yourself and lock yourself up, and it's going to cause you to be hesitant. So in our practice structure, I'm breaking that out because I want you guys to understand there has to be technical work that's done without a ball, whether that's warm-up, conditioning drills, in space, without a ball. And so when you guys are going through drills like that, players, just understand how important that is. Because you need to get that control. It needs to be habit. You need to go through those reps. So that now when a ball enters into play, you know what to look for. You know when to act. That's your vision and timing. And that becomes externally focused. And then there's also the strategy of the game that we want to teach these girls. What to look for, how to be ahead of the competition. Okay? So I really want you guys to understand that. Because that is the basis of what our practices should be. Now, coaches, they have the freedom and ability to kind of put this together how they want. They're the artists. So some may be in periods where their technical focus might be a little bit bigger within their practice. Others may have vision timing, others may have strategy, and that's supposed to progress throughout the year. And it all depends on age, level, all of that. So when you're looking at, we have 4 courts and we hear it a lot, hey, well they do this at this practice and they do that at this practice. Okay, just understand we don't bring a cookie cutter like you've got to do it this way. Okay, because there's a lot of different factors based off of personnel, where that team is at in the year and all of that. All right. So that's a big reason I want to dive into that. So when you guys are looking side by side, you're looking at all these other teams and this and that, there's a basic framework that everybody's held within, and then they get to have a feel and have control and have that authority to do that. But our mentor coaches, our front office, we're all watching, observing, and we're keeping the lines of communication open with them. Our practice framework, just so you guys know, so it's skill development. We're really trying to develop their skills, and this is progressive in nature, right? You work on the skills, then we go to more positional specific work, then we bring the team together and try and get them working together, team chemistry, and then we have the competition. That progressive flow is really built in to try and get the girls to understand how you take it from the foundational practice of this all the way up into competition. Because there's a different focus when you're working on skills, right? If I'm working on my approach and I'm working on my steps and how my body's aligned, I'm internally focused. I don't want to be thinking about that when the match comes. If I am, I got problems. Okay? So that progressive nature in our practice framework, again, we want to lay all this stuff out for you, okay? Does anybody have any questions with that? Does that make sense? Yes? Yes. Okay.